All right, this is Sebastian from PITCAM. I'm here with Sam from the Almighty Architects. How are you doing?
Good, I like that. Almighty Architect.
Yeah, sure, you are. I mean, definitely. So yeah, obviously we're here because you are going to have a new album soon on May 27th on Epitaph. All our gods have abandoned us. So I was privileged enough to already hear it already, and to me it sounds it sounds similar to your last record, Lost Forever. So maybe from your point of view, what did change from the last record to what you will put out soon?
We wanted to progress, obviously. It would have been really easy to do the same record again. I think, kind of on the face, there's a similar vibe to the last record, but I think once you sit with it for a while and you sort of dig in a little bit, it's quite complex underneath. There's a lot more other elements that we've kind of brought to it, and we really pushed ourselves in the studio to kind of give the best performances we possibly could as musicians. But then also we wanted to make it just sound as good as we possibly could, and we're very, very happy with the outcome and the steps that we've taken as a band, and I'm looking forward to touring it.
All right. Yeah, as you said, some new elements. I think on the last track of the album, Memento Mori, it is, there is some electronic intro, something. So, I don't know, can you just say what brought you to this? What kind of idea was behind that?
Well, we've always kind of experimented with the electronical side of things, and Tom is very, very clever and always wanting to try out new stuff. And also as a band, we're always wanting to evolve. And yeah, with that, it was just a little idea that Tom came up with, and then all of a sudden you have a 8.5-minute song on your hands, and that song in particular was a bold move. It's not many bands that go out and do those songs that long, but we felt like it was there was enough stuff going on in the song to make it worth 8.5 minutes. I think it was longer. I think we took some stuff out, right. But yeah, the outcome is great, and we didn't want to do a song that felt like it was 8 minutes long. We wanted to do a song that was 8 minutes long but felt like it was 3 minutes long. And I think there's enough interesting stuff in the song to make it feel like that.
Yeah, definitely. So how long did it take you to produce the whole record? I mean, from the first idea of writing the first song to, I don't know how far it is right now, but to where you are at the moment?
Tom starts pretty much straight away. He's always writing, and we're always kind of throwing ideas around about where we want to go as a band and what we want to do. But really, I'd say the intensive writing was probably over like a 4-5 month period, where we would do a lot of vocal demos, and really that's when the album really took shape. And then in November of last year, we went into the studio, and we were in there for 7 weeks, and that's what you hear now. It's hard work, 7 weeks of hard work, but we got there, and we're very proud of it.
What would you say was the hardest part of finishing that record? I mean, a lot of bands say that it's always hard to really have a song done, because you always want to do something about it.
There's always something you can change, yeah.
Right, so what was... Yeah, I don't know. How did you really say, okay, this is it right now? Was that the hardest part, or how did it all...
That's always the hardest part for us, because we can always add stuff, and we're always trying to think of other bits and add other ideas and put other harmonies in stuff. And the hardest bit for architects is always walking away from it and going, it's done. It's done, it's finished. And that we flew home, flew back, flew home, and so many times where we wanted to get it perfect, and we're always striving to try and get the perfect record, and this is the closest we've been to being, feeling like we've accomplished that.
Yeah. How many B-sides do you have? I mean, songs that you wrote but didn't make the record. Are there any, or?
I think there might be 2. I think one that I don't even think got worked on, and I think there's one that just didn't make the cut.
Okay. So yeah, let's move on to your artwork. I mean, it's this black hole kind of. I can show it here shortly. So What made you choose this as an artwork for the record?
Well, it's just a very striking piece, and it's like a reverse eclipse. So the whole kind of idea behind it was, it really just sort of came to us like everything that we'd done before was just sort of a sign, like we were pointed in the direction of everything. You know, the artwork for Lost Forever was somebody just sent to our email just asking if we wanted a t-shirt design, and we were like, that's our album artwork. Like, yep, we'll take that off your hands. And with this, we were really struggling to try and find the right idea, and we knew we kind of wanted to move away from the A, because we've done everything we could do with it now. We've done the crown, the diamond, the original one, and we've done so many different variants on it that it just sort of felt like we needed to kind of move away from that moment because we'd done so much. And this came and it really sort of just fitted the whole vibe of the record, just the sort of light and darkness, the whole sort of just mysterious vibe around it. And it really just, when we had it there and we had the front and the back together, it really just worked perfectly with the record. And I love the mystery around it. I love the people going like, what is this? Why have you done this? Where's the A? Why haven't you done it? But like, how many things can you do to an A? You know, like we've done everything we can do to it. It's just a letter at the end of the day. And we were happy to make the step to move on. And we can't wait to see it printed up and printed on backdrops. And
everybody can think, what is it?
What is this? Yeah.
What should we think now?
Yeah.
All right, so obviously, as I said, the title is All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us. And already in the past, you had song titles like Unbeliever, Devil's Island, Broken Cross, and all this. So there is this religious fear over, pretty many songs you have. So it seems like you're striking your anger towards something and also facing religion in some way. Yeah. But can you state how this is all meant to be?
I think on the last record and the record before, we were kind of dipping in and out of these like atheistic views, whether we were atheists, whether we weren't, what our beliefs were, and you know, almost just kind of growing up on record. You know, it's kind of like that's what we do because we've been touring for years, and when you're sort of figuring your life out, you kind of write these songs about it and how you feel at that moment in time. It's just they're there forever. It's like a diary that everyone can read, right? So with All Our Gods, it's more of like a statement about where we're at as a world and as a species almost. Like we've pushed our gods away from us and we live in this like really godless state. You know, it's like whether they've like lost complete interest in us because we've completely fucked the whole world up, or whether we've completely pushed them away. It's we're in a very scary time, and as I say, we're in a very godless and unsafe place right now, and it's a very striking title. Again, I think it will make people think quite a bit, and again, it just works so well.
How much does it have to do with the government of your home country, of the UK?
As in, like, how do we feel about the government?
Yeah, was it kind of a trigger for? Yeah, I mean, even the video you put out, or the anger you have.
Yeah, but I mean, we're just constantly let down in our country, and I don't feel like anyone that's in government right now, as George Osborne and David Cameron, I don't feel like they really understand your average working day person. They're just fucking blood-sucking cunts. I hate them. And it's a sad state of affairs in England. But then also in America, it's not looking great right now with old Trumpy boy. But there is hope. There is hope, and you know, we have Jeremy Corbyn, who's a light in the darkness of UK politics, and you know, there's Bernie Sanders in America, and there's light, but we're not very happy with our government, let's put it that way, and I don't think many people in England are.
So again, as I said, the last song on the record, sorry. I heard Gandhi speaking in there. Is it correct?
It's Alan Watts.
Alan Watts.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Gandhi. Yeah. So when you have so much anger against authorities, is that a person, or which are the persons that you really have hope in and that you're sticking to? I would have thought it would be Gandhi for this views, but who is it then for you?
So, well, there's a lot of people that we look to for hope, and and I think Memento Mori really it means be mindful of death, and he sums that up very well in the sense of it really sums up the record. It's like be mindful of the situations that you're in, and there's two ways you can take it. You can live your life in fear of dying, and that's happening, but that's going to happen regardless of what you're going to die. Like, you can live your whole life scared of it, or you can live your life and enjoy your life, and that really is the basic summary of the record. And it was a perfect quote. Tom just got the quote and actually just put it over the music. He didn't have to edit it, move it around. Like, it fit perfectly, and it was like an instant, like, whoa, here we go. Like, that has to stay on there because it really made the song. And we spoke to Alan Watts' son, and he gave us the approval of the quote as well, because Alan Watts isn't around anymore. He's passed away, but his son was super cool with us using it and was really happy that we were still getting his father's work over there. And it really sums it up.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic, touring. So obviously you're going to tour the European Summer Festivals in June and mid-July, I think. But what would interest us, I think, the most is, will you come back in autumn, winter, spring, anything?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some plans going on right now. And
how much can you say?
Not much, but we're working on a lot of things, and we're obviously going to come back. We love touring. In particular, we love touring in Germany, but in Europe, it's just so much fun. It always has been, and UK, Europe is great, and obviously, Australia, America, and everything. We're gonna do the full touring cycle, but right now we're just sort of figuring out lineups, putting together the best tours we can.
So who would you like to bring over, if you can tell so much right now, but who would you, the artists, the bands that you haven't been touring with, or that you have toured with and really would like to tour with again, or for the first time?
I feel like if I said, I'd be giving it away, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut, but let's say that it's going to be very cool. It's going to be a very cool tour.
Okay. So then again, I mean, you as a band, you are 4-piece.
5 now.
5, that would be the question. I mean, live you're 5-piece. Yeah. So it's official now that you're a 5-piece.
Yeah, Adam has we've asked him to join the band. He did a 2-year interview, but he's fully a member of Architects now. Okay.
So why did it take so long? 2 years, you said that it's that he wasn't part of the band, but is now. I mean,
I think the thing was we wanted to wait till the start of another album cycle, and Lost Forever had already started, and we'd done all the press and got everything together and ready, and we'd done the photo shoots, and we weren't really financially really able to pay for him to fly from Vancouver all the time at that point in time, so we couldn't get him over for photo shoots and all that kind of stuff. But now he's such an important part of our band and touring, and we've known him for so long, and he's been so dedicated to touring that it just felt like the right time to ask him to join. And we really kind of like, well, there's no one else we would have ever. And also at the start it's hard because also we've been doing it for so many years, and it's kind of like your baby, but then you realize like, oh, what, it's a fucking band. Like he's worked 2 years of his life for it. Like, come be part of the band. Yeah, I mean,
I've seen the DVD you put out, and he's always there. He's live on stage, but still, again, when you post like photos of your band online, he's not there. So we were always thinking like, what's going on?
From now on, he's in like all the photos from for the press for this tour, and for everything that we're doing.
I think I've seen the first announcement for some festival lately where he was on. Yeah,
he's in, and he's in the new music video, and. Yeah, we've got a Canadian in our band, so we'll see how that works out.
Okay, so to sum it all up, I mean, you have numerous albums put out. You toured the whole world, headlining festivals. So
It's pretty cool.
it's cool. Yeah, it is cool. I mean, but for you as a band, I mean, when you start out, you kind of see and you know what the next step would be. But now, for you at this point of time, what is the next step for you to have as a band? What's your next goal to reach?
It's so crazy, and I feel like I just am constantly saying it every album cycle. Like, we're just so happy doing what we're doing. Like, we obviously do look forward, as in like we look forward to the tours and stuff, but it's so hard to say like we want to be this big or this big, because we don't really we don't care about the size of our band. We just care about playing shows and more importantly just being friends. We love each other, and I think it's important to have that friendship. And after 10 years we're like best mates and always talking. When we're at home, we're always hanging out, and I don't think many bands have that. I think quite a lot of bands are filled up with people that are very different, and that's what makes their band work. But with Architects, it's almost like we're like 5 brothers, literally brothers, because we see each other every day. I speak to Ali every single day.
Would you regard this as a key to success for younger bands, to really be best friends? I mean, you see it in Parkway Drive. They're best mates, and they work out perfectly.
Yeah.
You, best mates, works out. So
I think that's it, because you go through so many highs and lows together that it's like a family. It's like you're there for each other all the time, and you're all pulling in the same direction. You're all working for the same end product. And I think, really just make sure you surround yourself with people that want to do the same thing as you and are dedicated to that, because if you have 3 people that care about being in a band and 1 person that doesn't want to do it, then it's never going to work out. You need to have like this real dedication. Like, 7-8 years ago, we all quit our jobs. We all had like small jobs, and we quit them because we were like, we have to tour. We have to work really hard. And
then you really needed to do it.
We needed to do it because we didn't have any money, and we toured for years and years and years, just getting enough money to just do the next tour, and just make enough money so we could just do the next tour. But we toured for years without going home, so it was like we got there. We got there in the end because we dedicated our whole lives to it. And I'm not saying it's easy to do that. We obviously did work the jobs to get in a position where we could just about get by, and we had very supportive families, that kind of were like, yep, you can stay here rent free while you're touring, But it's hard work, but once it pays off, 10 years later, it pays off, and you have so many great experiences as well.
I think I remember Tom in the DVD, Tom saying at one point, when I come home back from tour, I need to stay home. I can't afford an own flat. Yeah. I was thinking like, wow, you're touring the whole world, headlining big venues. Yeah. Why don't you have enough money to have your own flat?
It's hard, but now, after that, it's a few years later, we all kind of are moving out, and move out, and we're very, very lucky. And it's crazy to think what hard work pays off. That tour was 100 days long.
Yeah,
100 days. 100 days on tour, and we came home and we just broke even. So we just managed to pay for the flights and pay off the merch, and that was it. That's why we had to do the crowdfunding for the DVD, because we were like, we can't afford to print this DVD, so please buy it. But it worked. And do you know what? That tour, that 100 days tour, really saved Architects, I think, because our attitudes before that tour were very. We were all down about like, oh, why aren't we a big band? Why aren't we this? Why aren't we that? And we kind of were like, oh, we're not done, but we were just, our egos were like crazy. And then on that tour, it was so humbling to go to all these places and play these such great shows. Even if they were small shows, they were so fun and in the middle of nowhere, that it really just made us kind of go like, wow, we're very lucky to do this. And then we stopped being concerned with the size of the band and how many people the band played to, and just realized how fortunate we were to do it. And since that day, we've had that same thought every day. So it really did save Architects, and it's made us be a lot more grateful for what we have.
All right. think perfect ending.
Cool.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's kind of like it's not so much this like huge theme. I mean, it does have a theme, but it's not really meant to. I just really liked the way that sounded together. We had that for 4 years. I actually wanted to name the last album Common Courtesy, and I told everybody, and they were like, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. And they were right, it didn't. Like, it was just a name that I threw out there.